Hello, and welcome to another episode of Balatro. We are continuing to play the blue stake, and next in line is the magic deck. Start the run with the crystal ball, +1 consumable slot. I think that's extremely minor for a bonus, but then start with 2 copies of the fool, I think is extremely powerful for a bonus. So I anticipate being able to beat this on our first attempt, which is why I'm recording it. So let's go. Shop has a free rare Joker. That's insanely good, and we just definitely go for that. Any flush is good to start with. The big blind takes 2 hands to win, so as long as they're decent hands, you'll get there. So this is one decent hand. Now we just need a second, and we got a full house. Second decent hand. Okay. Things are going very well. Starting with the free rare Joker. Let's see what kind of rare Joker it is. Sometimes they're total misses. Like, the new vampire is pretty sad. Obelisk is pretty sus as well. What is the goal here? The goal is to get a really good Molt Joker and a really good Chip Joker so we can spam high card. And then, once we get high card up to like 15, then we transition into a world where we just play pair or 2 pair or any hand besides high card to scale this up. Oh, spectral cards may appear in any of the Arcana packs. I love this voucher. I was going to mention that one of the reasons I actually do like the Crystal Ball voucher, the extra consumable slot, isn't even for the extra consumable slot, it's for the chance to see Omen Globe as one of your vouchers. But it's too expensive here, and we might not even buy that many Arcana packs with what... I mean, we need to buy some because of the Fool, but... It'll take a long time for the Spectral cards to pay off, because the first Arcana pack we buy might not have a Spectral card. But even if it does, we need to find a good our tarot card to copy with the Fool. So we might even skip the first Spectral card we see in favor of a better tarot card. And of course it just doesn't make us stronger right now, and we need to be stronger right now. The monocle, -1 hand size, it's not that hard, but we don't want to not get stronger, I think. They nerfed the sinful jokers, gluttonous joker, wrathful joker, lusty joker, greedy joker. So they're only +3 molt per suit instead of +4 molt. So I think I'm pretty content to actually just open the buffoon pack to look for a better scoring joker. Well, you know I like square joker. Square joker and anti-1. Name a more iconic duo. Alright. So what does that mean for us? Maybe we spam pair. So we play a pair of 6s. And then it's 100 chips. Okay. Ace, king, queen. 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, we really need a jack, huh? I guess we just look for the flush. But a flush isn't gonna cut it, even with the extra 20 chips. 20, even 28, 24 chips if we play this as high card. That would do what for us? That would do very little. Per consecutive hand play without play. So this would get a little bit better. Flush would not be very good, because I'm thinking about like resetting, like purposes of resetting the obelisk. This is a tricky situation. I think we play high card to get more consecutive hands played without our most played poker hand. Okay, now I can play 3 of a kind, which upgrades the square joker. And now we can play air. which is going to reset the Obelisk, but that's fine. I think we want to reset the Obelisk sooner rather than later. And I think we want to spam it with... I guess we want to spam it with high card, not pair, right? Because high cards are going to be easier to spam. So we play high card. The trick with Obelisk is we want to get whatever hand type we're spamming up to, I mentioned earlier, about 16. I think it's kind of the sweet spot. It depends on what ante you decide to make your transition. So in order to do that, we need to be able to win with it. We need to be able to win essentially with no Obelisk buff on that hand type. So like if we are going to spam high card, we need to be able to win by essentially playing 4 high cards is the goal. Square Joker helps with that for sure. So all we need is just a base mult Joker. Yeah, I think we spam high card. And that does win the round, very barely. So we only have $12. Misprint is base mult. It's not consistent base mult, but I think we need to take it. And we could look for exactly high card. Or a pair would be good enough too. We can start spamming pair instead of high card. It's only one behind high card as far as getting our most played. So the question is like, do I want to open a jumbo pack or a celestial pack just to use the Fool to power up that hand type so that it can start winning? I suppose I do. So if I'm going to spend 4 on misprint, that leaves me at 8. So both of these would break my interest. So I guess I look at the bigger one. I look at 5 planets, and either Mercury or Pluto are a hit. And of course, we didn't get either. That's so sad. We'll upgrade Jupiter because we're like Flush is like maybe the next best hand type to transition into once we spam stuff for Obelisk. Okay, we absolutely need to buy this. And then we go next. And then we need to fight to power up our stuff. So can we win with 3 high cards? It depends on what misprint does, but I believe that we can. So let's go like this. Maybe we save the 4 in case we need to just like win with the 3 of a kind in the final hour. So high card wins immediately, apparently. Okay, well that's good to know. So we're safe to spam high card. This is more chips to make high card easier to win in the short run. I think maybe we just go next, seeing as how easy that win was just now. I think I got him. There was a fly. Yeah, I did. I see him. I killed him, but I didn't smash him, so he like fell. Sometimes when you kill a bug like that by clapping your hands together, it just like smashes all over your hands. That was an interesting circumstance. And then other times you like go to clap and you miss, or I guess those are the only 2 common occurrences. This was what I consider an unusual occurrence because I actually caught him in my hands, but I didn't smash him into my hands, but he also didn't get away. I hit him hard enough that he died, or at least acted like he was dead. Anyway, let's just spam high card, right? So just play 4 cards, see what misprint does. +6 means we don't win right away. That's totally fine. Play high card. Misprint. Rolled 9, which means we don't win right away. Okay, this is good. So you can see there's going to be a lot of misprint RNG right here until we can get a better multiplier generator. We play high card here. If misprint misses twice in a row, we could lose here. He didn't. He got 22. So he can, like, whenever he wants to, just decide that we win the round, or that it's impossible for us to win the round. And neither of which are things that I'm excited about, but oh well. Space Joker is really bad in this situation. If our goal is to play a dozen more high cards and then transition to our late game strategy, which is going to be a different hand type, then if we buy Space Joker now, he's going to be wasting all of his time upgrading a hand that we're not going to be using in the late game. And he's Eternal, so that's pretty much a non-starter. You still have Jupiter in them. I don't really care for that. Swashbuckler is eternal, unfortunately. I think otherwise this would be like a snap pick. Some base multiplier that doesn't rely on RNG. He's an okay Eternal Joker. Especially if we're going to keep Obelisk around forever. That's 4, this is 2, so... Of the 4 other Jokers he gets to look at, they're a little above average here. The average is probably like 2.25, because most Jokers have a sell value of 2. So in the late game, if this is like 6, in the late game he's probably like plus 11 multiplier flat. I don't think I want him. He's going to actually make it... yeah, he's going to make it hard for me to play 4 hands worth of high card on any given round, because he might have us win too soon. I don't want to risk not winning at all, though, by misprint rolling, like, below 6 2 or 3 times in a row. I don't know how many times in a row you have to roll below 6 for it to totally just crash the run, but I'm scared. I definitely don't want it to happen. $1,800, huh? We could look at a tarot card to copy with the Fool. I would love to get a Judgment so I can just look at a few more Jokers and have an idea of what I need to do to get Obelisk to work and not to rely on misprint RNG. So I guess we'll just keep looking at tarot cards until we find the sweet spot. Not great, but we can use Magician. We can use Fool to copy Magicians. Magician is actually one of the best tarot cards now. That was one of the buffs of the recent patch, is that the Magician tarot card gives 2 lucky cards instead of just 1. And the sooner you get lucky cards in your deck and start playing them, the easier it is to get money from them. So maybe I'm happy to just copy those lucky cards with the Fool. And in that case, I'll get lucky enough with the lucky cards and misprint I don't need to buy a Swashbuckler. So I can safely hit next, fight here. Excuse me. Use the Fool on these 2 cards, or use the Magician rather on these 2 cards, and then play a high card like this. I'm not gonna pull the trigger on this other Fool, because I might decide I don't need it. I think misprint rolled nothing, which is definitely not good. High card again. Okay. Please get lucky misprint or lucky card. That's not good enough. We can make you 2 lucky. And we can go ace 2, 3, 6 and hope that misprint rolls something higher than 10. 9 is pretty good. Okay. We're pretty likely to win here, but we're not guaranteed. I don't think there's anything we can do to prevent losing, though. So we just have to pray. This only needs to roll like a 6 or better, I think. I don't know what the odds are. It's something that's annoying about misprint is you don't actually know what your chances are of getting wrecked, so it's hard to calculate around what you're supposed to do. Although I will say, I actually think it's very interesting to have this element of RNG that you're not allowed to calculate for. Sometimes RNG, randomness in a game, is interesting, but also if you can perfectly calculate your odds, then there's not as much there's not as much to adapt to. You know what the best plays are, because you've run the numbers. And if there are some numbers you can't run, obviously that's frustrating for some reasons. I think it's probably better designed to ultimately know what your odds are for random events. But this interesting upside to that reality is forcing you to have to be more adaptable, forcing you to not be able to calculate and just have to I don't know, play a little bit more by feel. Because obviously, even though I don't know the odds of misprint, I know like what the odds feel like. It feels like you've got some distribution, maybe it's uniform. It feels like maybe it's close to uniform, of rolling some amount of multiplier between 0 and I think it's 23. But it's like, I don't know, does it ever roll? Are there some amounts of multiplier that it can't roll? So it's not like uniform for every number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It might be like an even chance for the multiplier 0, 3, 6, 9, 12. I've seen 23, so I know it's not just multiples of 3. So it's interesting. I just kind of have to go off of feel with this card. Okay, I see some very interesting things here. I love this voucher in the shop, because more hands means more opportunity to power up Square Joker and power up Obelisk. Seeing as we're only in Ante 3, this is an early Obelisk. I mentioned earlier 16 was maybe the transition point. It might need to be closer to, especially if we're going to transition to just pair and 2-pair for Square Joker. We probably need to get this up to maybe about twice that, like 25. Which I think we can do, especially with Grabber. But the question is, do we want to take it now, or do we want to take... I think we want to take Fortune Teller into Tower. If we don't want the Tower, no, we'll take the Tower. And then we go next, and then we fight. And then we play high card, and we can turn 2s into towers. So we play high card like this. And I suppose we can be looking for our lucky cards as well. So that was a misplay, because I should burn discards fully to look for my lucky cards. I'll do that on this round. We are going to fight. Here's a lucky card. So play 4 cards like this. Ooh, we got lucky, $20. Okay, another lucky card. Didn't get lucky this time, but misprint rolled a 12. Now we can fully look for lucky cards like this. We got a lucky card. Although we can't play it unless we are willing to not trigger Square Joker. I guess we can do this, which triggers Square Joker. It just doesn't power up Obelisk. And I think that's fine. Okay. No, I don't want that. I only have the 1 stone card. Okay, we absolutely need to buy this Grabber. And we absolutely want to buy every tarot pack we can because of this. $20 or the Fool. Probably $20 just because the Fool only gives me Tower. If the Fool gave me something more useful, that'd be considerable. The Fool into Tower is essentially +2 multiplier, so would I pay $20 for +2 multiplier? Maybe, since it also gives me a stone card in my deck, and I think stone cards in my deck are probably okay. They're alright. If I'm going to transition to pairs eventually, then having these draws in my deck that are guaranteed to not be part of any pair is not very good. But it's still 50 chips. I'm just going to take the money. I think it's a little bit complicated to think about the trade-offs for the stone card, the Fool into the stone card with the fortune teller implications. Oh, so similar situation. This is only $11, and this is quite a few more triggers for fortune teller. Oh, I also totally evaluated that wrong, because even though Fool into stone card did give me 2 procs on fortune teller, just doubling my money still gave me 1 proc on fortune teller. So I only would have been trading. I would have been trading $20 for only 1 more molt, not 2 more molt. Anyway, in this situation, it's much better to do Emperor over Temperance, because it's only $11 versus 2 extra procs on fortune teller. Strength is good because we're going to be wanting to make pairs eventually. Lovers doesn't do much, but we'll use it for fortune teller rather than sell it. And we can just go next. We're feeling very powerful. Let's play 5 cards. That's rude. The reason that's rude, of course, is because of Square Joker reasons. So rip that. We can use this on, I don't know, a 6, I guess. And then we'll just play... No, we still want to be playing high cards. So we'll play Ace 10, 6, 4, 7, I guess. That's a little annoying because I would like to play Well, maybe we just discard then. Yeah. Let's just discard like this. We can even discard an ace. And now we can play the high card like this with the... We have to play 5 cards, was the reason we couldn't do it before, with the lucky card here, so we get a chance to get lucky. That wins immediately, apparently, so we missed out on only 1 square joker proc. It's possible that we should sell Misprint now, it's curious. Omen Globe is back, now we have plenty of money to afford it. Although with Fortune Teller, it once again is a little bit of a two-edged sword. Okay, we can get rid of these low cards. Make it easier to find pairs later. But I shouldn't be too concerned with the trade-off of Fortune Teller versus Spectral cards that we would see in packs like this, because anytime I see a Spectral card that is better than the Tarot cards it's up against, it's enough better than those cards that I'm not concerned with missing out on a single Fortune Teller proc. Okay, we can go next. We could skip, because negative jokers are fun. But I think it's optimal to fight, because of Square Joker and Obelisk reasons. And Hanged Man, just get the Hanged Man used, rather than not. So we can do Ace, King, 6-5. I guess we should do Jack 5, keep some more low cards around, so it's easier to trigger these lucky cards later on. Is this gonna win? I don't know. Should I sell Misprint? What's my high card up to? So it's like 85, 80... Let's call it like 90 times 13 is what? 90 times 13 is 1,170. So we can't survive if we sell Misprint, essentially. So we have to keep Misprint around, which means sometimes we'll just win faster than we want to, and there's nothing we can do about it. Oh, that scared me. I'm like, why did this reset? Also, we got lucky on the lucky card again. We've gotten extremely lucky. The reason this reset was because we had just previously played, I guess, something. A pair? Did I play a pair earlier that I didn't know about? Strange. Okay, well, I don't know if it really matters what I hang. 2s and 3s would be nice. I guess 9s are good to hang as well. So let's hang a 9 and a 6. Well, let's discard a little bit first. Yeah, we can discard the 6 as well. Okay, we can hang a 9 and a Jack. Well, we want to be able to... I guess we're not going to get all the lucky card procs anyway, so we're safe to just hang the 9 and the Jack and then miss out on this lucky card proc, because we probably won't get there anyway depending on what Misprint rolls. We'll play high card. I rolled a 10, that's pretty good. Although not good enough for me to be outright winning. 1, 2, 3, 4. But that's okay, we still have 2 hands left after this. Play a high card like this. And then we win. Okay, and we used most of our hands to pump Obelisk and Square Joker. 17. We're getting close to the point where we can transition to Obelisk no risk. Well, not no risk. Oh, man. So a reason that spamming high card is worse than spamming pair is because now, in the future, it's going to be difficult to not crash the Obelisk. You can imagine if we're on... Because it's... Not only do you need to get a ton of one most hand type played, but then once you switch to other hand types being played, you need to do them consecutively. You see it says per consecutive hand played without playing your most played. So if we ever if we ever whiff and we're forced to play high card, then Obelisk resets itself, and that can be really, really bad. We're already done. We've already dug our grave in that sense. High card's at 17. We're not gonna try and pump pair. That would be, you can't. You can't. Yeah, I guess we'd have to catch pair up to high card. So it means we're committed to getting high card up and then never playing high card again, which means in the future we can't use hands to look for pairs by like playing high cards with those hands. It's a little scary. Definitely I don't feel like that indicates optimal play from us, but it's where we're at. No tarot packs here. We could just roll. Reserved parking actually probably pays for itself, so I guess we can take that and maybe just afford to go next. Big blind. Yeah, it's not so scary. Square Joker's getting better. We had a hand left over last round. Here's hoping, right? We could take a standard pack. Sure, we got a bunch of money. I don't feel like rolling, but maybe I feel like taking a standard pack. This is going to pay for that standard pack eventually, potentially. Eventually, potentially. So we can just discard looking for the lucky cards. We don't see a lucky card yet. So we'll just play these four. Oh, also looking for face cards. I shouldn't have discarded any face cards there. So we'll just play like this. Trigger reserved parking for face cards. Oh, nice. I think it's okay to take a turn off of pumping the Obelisk to potentially trigger lucky card. And also just not have to muck around with discards there. So that way we can keep the most number of face cards in our hand. Play high card again. This probably wins. Like, certainly wins. Okay. Reserve parking's actually a huge econ pool, so that's nice. We'll look at more playing cards. Holographic 6 is pretty good. We have 4 6s still. I'd like more 10s. The more 10s we get, the easier it will be to not miss on pairs once we start trying to consecutively play pairs. Or just consecutive play non-high cards, I should say. We'll take both of these because of Fortune Teller, I suppose. I guess we'll take this as well and try and upgrade pair. Or high card. What's better? No repeat hand types this round. Well, then let's upgrade pair. Holy cow, am I in trouble? Let's look for something better. I don't need the money right now. I need to not die to no repeat hand types. Cast the Clown. Ooh, okay. A free tarot card. Okay, Walkie Talkie is good with all the 10s we added to our deck. So let's play this and then go next. Okay, so we can play a 2-pair. That's great. While we're here, I guess we can turn these hearts into clubs. And so we'll play 2-pair. 6s and 7s. It's 4 cards, so we're still upgrade Square Joker. It gets a little multiplier with the Obelisk as well. And then I guess we can probably get away with high card. At least one high card like this. While we're thinking about this, let's just use the world for Fortune Teller. We play a high card for Obelisk, 4 cards for Square Joker. And then we get to play a single pair after this. Or a 3 of a kind, even better, because it scores more. And pairs are easier to find, so if this doesn't win for whatever reason, we still can find a pair that will score. It won by a lot because of Walkie Talkie. Makes sense. Okay, the Obelisk is up to 21, but pair is up to 2, so maybe we don't transition quite yet. I think maybe we do transition now. So -1 ante, -1 hand. I don't think we need that. The hands are actually pretty good because it lets us get more consecutive stuff with this. Upgrade 2-pair because we're about to stop playing high card altogether. Is 21 enough? I think so. In ante 5, we just started ante 5, so we have 12 more rounds. So as long as we are able to play 2-pair from time to time, or 3 of a kind from time to time, we're totally fine. If we're only ever to play pair, that could be a bad thing, but I don't think that will be the situation. I'm happy to replace misprint, so I'll open a Buffoon pack. So these are both eternal and not that exciting to me, so I'm going to skip them. I'm just going to go next. I'm not going to start rerolling too aggressively. And we'll fight. Okay, so now we're playing non-high cards over and over. You can see already it's really scary, right? It's like right here we're forced to play a high card. Well, I mean we can discard, which I guess we'll have to do. So these discards become especially sacred as far as our ability to not crash the obelisk that we want to start scaling. So we'll play a pair with a lucky in it. Maybe we'll have a flush opportunity here. It doesn't matter, we just won. Hanged Man is good. It's going to make pairs easier. High Priestess is not that good. I guess we'll buy it though because of Fortune Teller. Okay, Hangman, can we hang some 2s or 3s? Yeah, we got some 3s. Let's hang those for sure. Temperance is pretty good. Sigil's not that important. So I would rather just take the money. Sure, we can look at some planet cards. 2 pairs fine to upgrade. I'm gonna take this pack now though because I want Mercury's the best. Venus is probably the next best because we have a bunch of 10s. Then I'll use, maybe I'll reroll once. We'll use this. Probably not gonna, it's times 1.25. Is that good enough? It's pretty good. It's since we have a base multiplier of 19, and then it's also going to compound with the obelisk. Yeah, it's probably good enough. And then we can start skipping more confidently. Okay, yeah. So sell misprint, buy the tower. And the throwback. That makes hieroglyph actually quite a bit better. The throwback does. So maybe we do that. I kind of like that. Because now more tags. We don't need the hands as much anymore because we're not trying to rack up the high cards. And obelisk hopefully pretty soon will allow us to be winning in one hand. So do I want $17? Play only one hand type this round, the opposite of the other boss that we saw. What was it? It's not the club, the goad, no, the eye and the mouth. They're no repeat hand types, play only one hand type. They're both some of the more brutal boss blinds. Sometimes they, of course, don't do anything, but when they do something, it can be really devastating, as opposed to like must play 5 cards is almost never devastating. Although it's not always easy, it's rarely devastating, I would say. Okay, so do we want $17? Sure. Instead of what? Instead of a shop and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, $7. Proc or 2 on the obelisk, a proc or 2 on Square Joker, and then seeing a shop. It's really close. 17 is like really close to the threshold, but it upgrades throwback. I will skip the blind. I will fight. Okay, we're only going to play pair. We can turn 2 into a tower because 2s are bad. We are going to continue to be greedy and try and upgrade Square Joker. I don't think this wins in 1, but it might. It totally might. Yep, it does. Just barely. So we've got 2 ways to scale our X-Mult, but you can't do them both at the same time. It's kind of funny. Telescope is forwardly anti-synergy with Obelisk. That's actually kind of hilarious. Medium is not bad. The tower is pretty bad. Strength is not bad. Get more 10s. And I guess 6s. Turn a 5 into a 6. Turn a 9 into a 10. I like that a lot. I'm not worried about getting more tarot cards for Fortune Teller. I'm worried about not missing on the Obelisk. If I don't miss on the Obelisk, I should be totally fine, and this makes it much more likely for us to not miss on the Obelisk, so let's do it. You can even look at this to look for 10s or something. Jack? No, I have not that many jacks. We'll just skip. We could roll once, I suppose. These aren't that exciting, so we'll go next. We don't want double tag. We will fight. Of a kind, sure. The lucky card didn't trigger, but that's okay. This wins in one. Only barely, but it does win in one. I guess I could have done a couple of pairs to... Yeah, I should have done that. I should still try and optimize the number of hands I can play within a round to win. Although getting another ×2 here is really good. So we sell this and we buy the ramen, and now we have so many multipliers with a base multiplier, Fortune Teller. Insanely good. This is a cool 6. So we can make a jack a 6. Because it's a cool 6. We can look at planets. We don't want to upgrade high card because that's the only hand we're not ever playing ever again. So let's just go next. Let's fight. Okay, we have a pair. So let's play the pair. Yeah, the reason you don't want to optimize too much within a round is because you don't want to find yourself in a tricky situation where you're just screwed on Obelisk. But there are ways to optimize that mean that you can't get screwed on Obelisk, so we should look out for those. Like when we had the 4 of a kind, playing 2 sets of pairs was just much better. We'll look at this in case we get a 6 or a 10. We got a 10. I'll just take it because it makes us more consistent. I don't need to look at any more jokers besides the ones we have here, so I'm going to go next. We're going to fight. Okay. So you see right here we can just play a pair and then maybe play this pair after. The hook actually makes this a little bit less consistent for us, but that's okay. Wow, we actually... Oh no, it kind of screws us on ramen, but oh well. Okay, we don't get to play these lucky cards because we are not allowed to play high card, and the only way to trigger those would be with high cards. The hook and ramen. Ugh, that's twice today that I've run into this interaction, and it's icky. So sad. Ramen's now down to... It doesn't matter that much, but it's funny that there's that anti-synergy there. But ramen's down to times 1.96x mult. Yeah, we want a Mega Arcana pack for sure. That's awesome. Ooh, Cryptid is good. Cryptid is great, so is Immolate. So we can Immolate and then Cryptid a 10, hopefully, unless Immolate destroys both 10s, but that's not extremely likely. So let's go for it. It didn't destroy either 10, that's so good, and then we Cryptid. Man, a Mega Arcana pack when you get to do Immolate into Cryptid, that's nuts. I've never seen that before. You thought Mega Spectral packs were good. Well, wait until you get Mega Arcana pack with the Omen Globe voucher. Just wild. Alright, I will look for 10s. None of these. We'll get the Overstock voucher because it's one of the best vouchers. We get to see a blue joker, but I don't care for it, so I'm going to hit next round. We could skip. It's going to give this 2 additional multiplier, and this an additional 0.25 multiplier. I think that's pretty good. It also gives us less risk of crashing the Obelisk. So you can see here we're down to 10 10s, 7 6s, 5 4s, and a deck of 46 cards. This is close, but because of the shops, I'm looking for almost nothing. I think I'm happy to just skip the shop in this case. $15 is pretty good. Strength is not useful here because I don't have any 9s to turn into 10s. So I think I'll put a Talisman on a 10 and use Temperance for more money. Throwback got better. Now this is $25. So I could just skip again. The money's less good now though. $25 is not as good as tarot packs, I guess, is kind of the argument there. Alright, let's see if I can play a pair twice. Here's a pair. I cannot. Pair is too good. All of my X-Molt, 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 and then base Molt. Really, really powerful. High card's the only one I don't care to upgrade, so buying Celestial Pack means I'm guaranteed to not see Pluto. 2 pair is fine, I'll play those from time to time. Arcana Pack is great, do that every time. Medium is great. We can put that on anything, like a queen. So now we're going to get tarot cards for fighting. Which means skipping is even worse than it was before, and then we can just hit next. Does this win in 1? I think it probably does, but I'm too lazy. Oh, Ramen tells us we don't want to discard. So maybe the purple seal was bad. Okay, but we are going to discard here though, because we desperately need to make sure we don't crash. The Obelisk, it's up to ×3. 2 pair is sufficient, and we're not going to discard anymore. Well, because we only have 1 discard left, so we can't even look for the purple seal card. Okay. Seed money is like free, so I guess we take that. Arcana packs are good. Cryptid again. We could do it on a 10 or on a 6. I think I'd rather do it on the 6 because it's holographic and that's cool to me. We've gotten so many cryptids this run. Holy cow. 6 or a 10? Nope. Reroll once, take the Fool, but don't use it, and then do we want $40? And then a negative Joker? Sure, that seems pretty fun. I'm feeling powerful enough that we can skip, pump up, throwback, play a 2 pair. I guess I should just play 1 pair at a time in an effort to not win in 1. Something like that. So I'll play this pair, trying to trigger the lucky. Hopefully I don't win in 1. I don't, and then I play this pair, which does win in 1, and that's totally fine. So you can see pairs at 12, so we're still safe from not crashing Obelisk with pair, though we want to be a little careful. Nah, we don't need to be careful. There are, I think, physically not enough hands left for us to crash. Well, we will buy this because it's free and negative. And we will buy this because it's good with Fortune Teller. Hanged Man to make ourselves more consistent for $20. $20 does nothing. We have so much money. We'll use this. We'll even use this to get more Hanged Man because that's one of the better tarot cards we can. We don't see a 10 or a 6 here, so we'll skip. We'll re-roll. We'll use Temperance. We'll re-roll. And we'll re-roll. And we'll re-roll. And then we'll probably just go next. We don't want to upgrade Full House, so we're happy to fight. Crimson Heart, totally tame. Doesn't do almost anything. If it hits Fortune Teller, it's a little bad, but oh well. I think we're still going to win very, very easily. Let's play a pair like this. Well, we can get rid of a king and a 7, and then just play a 2 pair, I guess. We don't need to optimize too much here. $148,000, yeah, we're gonna get there easy. Look at this tarot pack. Hangman on a 5 and a jack. I guess it's better to turn a 5 into a 6 with death. And then we can just go next. We can just win. Skipping is totally fine here. We're powerful enough. I'm probably not going to even take this pack. But we save ourselves time by doing it this way. Okay, Square Joker's disabled. It's not great. So we can go like this, play a pair this way. We can play 5 cards because we can't level up Square Joker here. Ooh, we rolled high on the lucky card. Okay. Miss out on a ×2, not a huge deal. Ooh, that's a good chance to discard this. Look at the synergy. So discard these. It doesn't reduce Ramen's capability. We can just use you, because why not? We can use you to pump up Fortune Teller. Probably use you, because 4 of a kind is definitely possible. And then we will play a 3 of a kind with a holographic card. See what happens. Should be very powerful. Yep. And then Obelisk is disabled, so we can actually play high card again, finally, but we don't need to. 3 of a kind is going to win. Thank you for joining us. This was a cool run. Square Joker was our chip Joker again. I hope you're not tired of seeing that, because I just can't get enough of Square Joker. And honestly, it's just not wise to skip a scaling Joker and anti-1. Like an easy scaling Joker, right? So whether that's chip or molt, you should pretty much never skip Square Joker, Castle in anti-1. You pretty much never skip Ride the Bus or Green Joker in anti-1. There are some scaling Jokers that you do skip because they're just not reasonably easy enough to scale, even though you get to start from anti-1. So something like Runner, not very easy to scale. And then the other one I was thinking of was right here, Fortune Teller. Getting tarot cards is not necessarily easy over the course of a run. And you can't scale him in the round, so in the first few antes, the Fortune Teller might only be like 1 or 2 multiplier per round, whereas Ride the Bus can be 4 multiplier per round. So, and you don't have to spend money to pump him up. Fortune Teller, you do. That was the other cool thing about this run was Obelisk. You don't get to see Obelisk perform very often, so there you go. The game's gonna get much harder once we get to Purple Stake. I'll just give us that warning. I don't want this wrap up to take too long, so I'll go ahead and say my usual thank you for watching this, and I hope to see you next time, and have a good rest of your day.